things, basically anxiety, fear, trauma. So that was the main highlight and main crux of the entire lecture which Gaurang Prabhu gave. And then there were questions, many questions were asked at how to handle change. Like I think I remember Gopa asked that what about if relatives change, and then Gaurang Das told that ultimately the biggest change is is at the time of death when we change bodies. So actually, so so when we realize that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and spirit soul is eternal, and spirit soul basically it cannot be killed, it cannot be burnt by fire, it cannot be broken down uh, by a traumatic situation, or it cannot be harmed by anything else. It is eternal and nobody can harm it. And actually that identity is that. So our real identity is that we are spirit soul and we are not this body. So but as Gaurang Das was also telling that this takes like determined this practicing of this science for a long period of time with lot of determination, and then we can realize this. So this is an ongoing process and ongoing effort from our part, and it takes some time and a lot of guidance, lot of eagerness. So that was that was my takeaway from Gaurang Prabhu's lecture. And then basically Gaurang Das also mentioned that how there are 5 subjects of matter, basically, which Bhagavad Gita covers: Jiva, Kala, Prakriti, Karma, and Ishvara. So how we are all Jivas, the spirit soul, and we are interacting with Prakriti. So according to our past interactions with Prakriti, and according to how we are interacting with Prakriti right now, and so according to that, there is a particular karma. And with the travel of time, there are basically that karma fructifies, and there are various situations thrown to us according to the our interaction with Prakriti and the karma which we have, good karma or bad karma. And then there is Jiva. Then there is Ishvara. So Jiva has a eternal relationship with Ishvara. And then basically Gaurang Das did not go deeper into that, but there is an eternal relationship also with Ishvara. And when we act with that, within that relationship, then that all those interactions, the good things and the bad things, they are basically dissolved. And that is a peaceful place when we understand that we are servants of God. So just like basically sweetness of sugar, right? Like sugar is sweet. So that is the inherent property of sugar, that sugar is sweet. So similarly, as a soul, we are servants. So either we are serving our managers, or we are serving our families, or we are serving our children, or we serve God. So like that, we have to understand that. And when we understand that, and then we execute our life, recognizing our real identity, then basically we can deal with these situations, that we can come to the root cause. What is the root cause of fear, anxiety? And then we can experience a divine connect with God, and divine connect with us. We can understand our spiritual identity, and we can basically understand our divine relationship with God. So that will basically give us a higher shelter, and that will help us to navigate through the changing situations in our life which we are encountering, because that thing will remain constant, although the other things which are changing, they always keep changing. So there is this like eternal thing, and there is this, so temporary and permanent. So there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter: Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata, ubhayorapi drishtantvas tvaninos tattva darshibi. So basically, the seers of truth, sadhus. So sadhus, if we define sadhu, a sadhu is one who knows the truth, who understands the truth. So a sadhu is more worried about the permanent things. He is not so much worried about the temporary things. So all these things basically which we have in our life, our house, our family members, our job, our manager. So these are all the things which they will pass with time. So they will change. So that is with intelligence we have to understand, and then we have to see things in that perspective, and then automatically we will not be too much influenced when these temporary things change. That's why this verse from second chapter, where sadhus mainly focus the consciousness on the real truth, on the absolute truth, which is eternal. So that relationship between Jiva and Ishvara, that is eternal. So that's what Gaurang Das Prabhu was saying, that even Arjuna was facing similar internal struggles. So he was identifying with Dronacharya, with Bhishmadev, and basically all the other grandsons which he was having there. So he was experiencing an internal conflict because he was attached to those identities, and because of that internal conflict, he saw the battlefield as an external conflict. So Garang Das Prabhu emphasized on this part, that if we address our internal conflict, then we can address the external conflict also. So, and for that purpose only, like Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. Basically, that's where I think all the other sessions are there. That the significance of Bhagavad Gita is that basically it will address your internal conflicts. It will address your contaminations of the heart, like lust, greed, anger. So all these things basically will be purified, and you will feel a divine connect with the Supreme Lord, and then you will feel real happiness, which is basically eternal, which is not temporary. So even happiness is also of like three types, which is eternal, temporary, and like we can go deeper in later sessions about that. But I'm just trying to build up the like picture where we are right now. So as Gaurang Das Prabhu mentioned, that Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna to resolve his internal conflicts. And in the first chapter, we will see that what is the situation, basically, that as we Amog Lila Prabhu also told, that Bhagavad Gita is the seventh parva of Mahabharata. So there are 18 parvas, and Bhagavad Gita is just one episode within Mahabharata. So so I think we can switch to now Mahabharata, basically what led to Bhagavad Gita and what is the situation right now on the battlefield. So yeah, if any questions are there till now, we can go on to it. Anybody wants to ask. Okay, we can continue that. Yeah, so basically, if no questions, then we will switch to the context. What is the scene on the battlefield, and what is the like first sloka of Bhagavad Gita? So what happens is, like, maybe most of you might be aware of Mahabharata, that there are two characters, Pandu and Dhritarashtra. So these are two brothers, and basically, uh, so there is Pandu has 5 sons who are Pandavas, and Dhritarashtra has 100 sons, Kauravas. So basically, the sons of Pandu and the sons of Kaurava, they were having some conflict because of their nature. And because of this conflict, and Duryodhana was the head of the Kauravas, and Duryodhana wanted, he knew about the scholastic nature of the Pandavas, how equipped they were, and how much strength they carried, how much wisdom they carried. So Duryodhana was very, very like afraid of Pandavas, because Duryodhana was always attached to rule the kingdom. So that's why Duryodhana wanted to kill the Pandavas, so that he doesn't, as we were discussing about the influence, the circle of influence. So he doesn't want his circle of influence to reduce. So that's why he wanted to kill Pandavas. That's why he kept basically a gambling match, and by unfair means, Pandavas had to lose that, and then Pandavas were exiled for 14 years to forest as a result of that gambling match. And during that exile also, Duryodhana made multiple arrangements to kill Pandavas. For example, Lakshagraha, and like multiple other engagements. So it was only because of the help of Vidura and Krishna, who were the most like wise persons among the which were on the side of Pandavas, that Pandavas were saved from the conspiracy of Duryodhana. So now basically the Pandavas have returned from the 14-year exile, and since all these are Kshatriyas, as Gaurang Das Prabhu was also telling, that these people have fight in their blood. So their nature is to fight. So that's why they needed some kingdom to rule over. So that's why when they came back from the exile, Krishna went to Kauravas, and he asked Duryodhana, who was the head of Kauravas, that at least you should give 5 villages to Pandavas, because Pandavas are Kshatriyas. So everybody who is according to a particular varna, he should be given his proper area of. So, for example, in Google, a manager also has to segregate the area between L4s and L5s, so that everybody can perform within that area very nicely, and everybody can control over that area. So that's what was the answer of Gaurang Das Prabhu also to the controllership question. So that was the concern of Krishna, that at least you should give 5 villages, so that whatever nature Pandavas are carrying, they can basically control and they can utilize their nature by ruling over the kingdom of 5 villages. Yeah, so similar example was there. Basically, within the context and within your quota, you can control and you can roll over, you can do whatever you want, basically, because that is your quota, and that is ordained by higher authorities to you. So whatever you want, you can do within that quota. So after hearing the proposal of Krishna, Duryodhana did not budge. So he did not want to give even a single pin of land to Pandavas, because Duryodhana knew that if Pandavas receive only a single pin or even a one village, they are so wise and Krishna is by their side. So they will eventually occupy everything. They will invade the entire kingdom. So Duryodhana said that I can't give anything, and I know that it will not be feasible for me to give anything. So Krishna saw this proposal, and after this reply of Duryodhana, the war was evident. So Krishna tried to negotiate, tried to convince Duryodhana, but here there was no use for that convincing or negotiation. So then basically the war was evident, and Krishna came back to Pandavas and told the entire thing. So now in the starting of the Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing that there are basically two phalanxes arranged, Kauravas and Pandavas. So Pandavas are having like 7 Akshavinis, and Kauravas are having 18 Akshavinis. So there is another story where both Duryodhana and Arjun, they visited Krishna, and Krishna was sleeping. So Arjuna sat besides the head of Krishna and said, "Ki I would like to take you." So Krishna gave two options: either you take me or my all my soldiers or my all my relatives in the battle. So Arjuna told, "I would like you. I like you, and I have a very good relationship. I love you. So I would like to take you on the battlefield." And Duryodhana said that yes, I want to strengthen the strength of my army. So I would like to take your entire army. So both were happy, Arjuna and Duryodhana, and Krishna. Basically, Krishna was also happy to be the charioteer of Arjuna, and Duryodhana basically was happy to take uh, all the army portion of Krishna in the battlefield. So that's why the army of Kauravas is bigger than army of Pandavas. Yeah. So there is a question: are Pandavas to be absorbed? Everything they did, they just. Yeah, I think we should take this question at the end. This is more of a Mahabharata question, right? So yeah, let's try to answer this question. So there are many things which happen in Mahabharata for to stimulate our interest, and because um, yeah, stimulate our interest, and many things which great devotees did in Mahabharata that had a higher cause. And like when we learn Bhagavad Gita, then we will understand of this higher cause. So now there is this battlefield which is there in Kurukshetra. Kauravas and Pandavas are facing each other, and Dhritarashtra is sitting with Sanjaya in Hastinapur. So now this Dhritarashtra is asking this question. So I will read the first verse. The Dhritarashtra Vacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yujotsava Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Akurvat Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Yeah. So this is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. And here you can see that Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya that what did my sons do on the battlefield? So one thought might come that basically it's pretty obvious that everybody is assembled on the battlefield, so they are assembled to fight only. So why is he asking this question? So actually, Dhritarashtra was very afraid uh, of the result of the battle, of the consequence of the battle, because the first two words, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. So Kurukshetre is a very divine place. It's a holy place, and Dhritarashtra knew that the vibrations of the holy place that will affect the Pandavas positively, because Krishna was there on the side. So Dhritarashtra had this intuition and had this attachment to his sons, and because of the this attachment and knowing about this vibration thing, he was a little bit fearful, and that's why he asked this question. And Sanjaya has this Divya Drishti by the blessings of Vyasdev, that he can see the battlefield. He can see the battlefield by the mercy of his spiritual master Vyasdev, and that's why Dhritarashtra is asking this question to Sanjaya. Yeah. And in the subsequent verses, we will see that how Sanjaya replies. Basically, Sanjaya understood that Dhritarashtra had some attachments, some reservations towards Kauravas, and Dhritarashtra wanted basically the Kauravas to rule, and that was one of the inherent reasons for the battle. So Sanjaya knew the state of Dhritarashtra, his attached state, and that's why basically Sanjaya was communicating the subject matter very palatably to Dhritarashtra. Yeah, so Sanjaya says that, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. So now Sanjaya is describing the scene on the battlefield. I'm reading the second verse now. Yeah. Yeah, if we can project also. Just a second. Yeah, this is the second verse. Basically, you can find the Bhagavad Gita on internet also. There is a Veda base. Yeah. So Sanjay is now describing the scene on the battlefield, that after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words. So in the next slokas, we will see that Duryodhana was actually fearful, that by seeing the army of Pandavas, he did not expect that Pandavas will be able to get seven Akshayani's. And in order to hide his fear, he went to his teacher Dronacharya, and he started glorifying the army, their own army, the good warriors which Kauravas had. So basically, you will see here that first. So in the next 5-6 slokas, Duryodhana would glorify his own army, and then then he will glorify the army of Pandavas in front of Dronacharya. So after glorifying both the sides, he will go to Bhishma Dev, and then seeing the fear of Duryodhana, Bhishma Dev will just blow the conch. So basically, what here is seen is that the diplomacy of Duryodhana is because of the inherent fear which he had in his heart. So one thing is that if we have any fear or insecurity, then we should not hide it. Basically, we should have a coach, and we should discuss that fear or insecurity with that coach. Or as basically one of the reasons to read Bhagavad Gita is to elevate consciousness. So otherwise, if in any way we can elevate our consciousness and we can get rid of that fear, that will be more more nicer than trying to hide that fear with diplomatic strategies. So in the Bhagavad Gita, we'll find that Duryodhana is adopting diplomatic strategies. On one hand, he's glorifying the Kauravas, the topmost warriors which are on the Kauravas side, and then he's glorifying the topmost warriors on the Pandavas side also. So basically, at the last he becomes depressed, and that's why Bhishma Dev blew the conch shell to cheer him up, to remove his depression. And after Bhishma Dev blows the conch shell, then everybody else on the Kauravas side, they also blew the conch shell together. And after Kauravas blew the conch shell, then Pandavas blew the conch shell one after the another. So this basically, there is also this significance here that this is a Vedic battle. So there is a particular protocol being followed right now, and it's not like basically when India Pakistan fight, then also there is some protocol being followed, but like in Vedic battles, it's a uh, very defined protocol. For example, they fight only during the day, and in the evening they treat each other as friend, and they can anybody can go inside any house, and they can talk on a friendly version. So that is there. So one other thing here we will see is like once Pandavas, they blew their conch shells, so that sound vibration of the conch shell, it has different effect on different living entities. So the entities which were on the side of Pandavas, they were very encouraged and motivated by that vibration, and the sound vibration shattered the hearts of Kauravas. So in scriptures, basically we will find various events where a particular event is perceived differently by different living entities. For example, when Narsimhadev appeared in front of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj was there, Brahma was also there, Hiranyakashipu was also there, soldiers of Hiranyakashipu were also there. So there were different responses of different entities. For example, soldiers of Hiranyakashipu were uh, were running towards Narsimhadev to kill him, and basically Brahma and other demigods also were also there, but they were fearful little bit. And on the other hand, Prahlad Maharaj, he was totally fearless, and he was just mesmerized by the beauty of Narsimhadev. So Narsimhadev was actually very ferocious. He was looking like a lion, but Prahlad Maharaj knew the internal beauty of the Lord. So that was there. There were different responses depending on the different disposition of heart of different entities. So in our daily life situations also, we can find this, that to the same event there can be different reciprocations of different entities. Yeah, this was up till this blowing of the conch shells, and now there will be this transcendental discussion between Arjuna and Krishna, which will start. So any questions till now about the conch shells or the discussion? Yeah, Tushar.
Hey Rajat, yeah, so you mentioned, that like the Kaurava king, right? Duryodhan should have accepted the fear, very openly, and then he could have dealt it in a better way. But we also say at the same time in life that let's be confident and be hopeful of things, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, like that. So if we give in to our fears, if we accept our fears, how do you think we can, be confident and be hopeful for something that's not in our control?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah. Yeah, so I think there are two, three aspects to this question. That so as you told that you are fearful of something, and then fearful of the unknown, and then you have to be confident of your actions, whatever you are doing. So first is the acceptance, as you told, that there are some things which are unknown, which because of which there will be some fear. So first we have to understand that the results department is not our department. Our department is service department. For example, right now this recession situation is going on, where there is a lot of uncertainty. What will happen in next 3 4 months? So here basically our duty is to just serve. So we are employees of Google. whatever project we are given, we should serve nicely, we should do the project nicely, and results department, God will take care of. So that conception, that is the beginning of spiritual life. Jivere Swarupa Krishnere Nityadas. So basically, when we understand that we are not the controller, we are servants, and when we accept whatever is given to us by God, then there is no fear. Fear is there because we are expecting something, or we don't have complete faith in God that God will arrange for us. For example, our position is to serve. Whether we serve in this company or the other company, we will serve, and there will be like service for us. That is, so God has created this world in such a way that there will be service for everybody. So like that, if we understand the bigger picture, then you can get over your fears. Yeah. For example, Arjuna was also very fearful after seeing his relatives on the battlefield. But then Krishna told in the second chapter about the eternal nature of the soul, and how like personalities like Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, after leaving this body, they will actually advance in spiritual life. They will get celestial bodies. So he mentions it in the second chapter. So by that argument, Arjuna was convinced, and all his fears gradually were removed. So we need a coach basically for this, as Amoglila Prabhu told, that we need good association where we can harness positive energy, and basically we can be taken forward in our trajectory. Yeah, are you happy with this answer or any further?
Yeah. So yeah, I got like most part of it. So basically, it's just to summarize. It's like if we put ourselves at the center of the battle, thinking of the results and everything, then it's likely that we will fear of the results and the consequences. But if we think in general that this is just a process of life, probably then we do not, have the fear. It's a part of life, something like that. So not focusing on ourselves as being the subject or the object of the entire process, but being a part of the process.
Yeah, yeah. Focusing more on our service and not the results. Yeah. Yeah, Vaishali, you have a question.
Hi, thanks Rajat, and thanks to both you and Kiran for even doing this at such a sensitive time. Many thanks for leading this and helping all of us. And I personally am a big fan of Gita as well, so great to have you elucidate it. I have a question. I was listening to you and you said that, you know, uh, Duryodhana first glorified his own army and then he glorified Pandava's army, and then, but he was doing that out of fear, and he was trying to use diplomacy. So I have two questions. One, as leaders in a difficult circumstance, should we not be anyway building morale of our teams? Should we not be making people feel confident in ourselves to overcome that fear? That's question number one. And question number two, you said that he was using diplomacy and he was not talking about his insecurity. So my question is, if you talk about your insecurities to everybody, would that not put you at risk of exploitation, manipulation, uh, and being vulnerable in front of everyone who might not even care or even appreciate it, but use it in a wrong way? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Vaishali. Yeah. Thanks for a very nice question. I would like to address the second part first. So, as basically this is very related to what Tushar also asked. So, yeah, of course, like insecurities and fears, we can't discuss with everybody. We need a coach. So, we need somebody senior with whom we trust, and we can understand that he has a higher state of consciousness. And when we understand that we can receive something from him, then we reveal our heart to him. So that is, then once we reveal our heart to him, and then he will help with his wisdom, with his higher consciousness. So we need not discuss with everybody. So we need to understand whether we are the receiver or we are the giver. So if we are the receiver, then we will find a person who can be a appropriate giver. So that's why that coach is a person. So we need to find such coaches, like all these people whom we are inviting for Bhagavad Gita sessions. These are all authorized coaches, basically. So yeah, of course, we cannot reveal our heart to anybody, and we need to have a friendly relationship with somebody, and then we can discuss these things. And the other part, which is the like diplomacy part. So this is a very interesting point, and yeah, I what I believe, and basically on the principles of scriptures, that as far as possible, whatever is palatable for our subordinates, we should convey that as it is, and we should discuss this with other leaders also, because right now we are dealing with three types of relationships. So one relationship is with our subordinates, which basically we have to protect and we have to take care of, and the other is our peers, who are like peer leaders, and the third one is our seniors, whom we report to. So these things we should discuss with basically all our peers and our leaders, that how we should deal with our subordinates. And basically diplomacy, we see that even Krishna also adopted diplomacy. We'll see in Mahabharata to, but he did for a higher cause, to reinstate religion. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata. So to reinstate religion, Krishna had to resort to some diplomatic tendencies in order to merge Pandavas victorious from the battle, and in order to get rid of the demoniac rule of the kings, the Kaurava kings of Kurukshetra. So like that, basically our purpose should be clear, that if we are being diplomatic, are we doing it for their welfare, or are we doing it for our protection? That they will basically, we can be diplomatic to apply the divide and rule strategy also, right? So that is main thing, because if the purpose is clear, then you will understand that whether I need to be diplomatic or not, and if I need to be, then what way should I be diplomatic. So everything has a purpose, and then we perform our duties according to that purpose. Does that make sense, Vishal?
Yes, thanks, Rajat. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, then we can proceed with the transcendental conversation which Arjuna and Krishna will have. So basically, this entire Bhagavad Gita is question and answers. So I would encourage all of you to ask questions, and so even the other scriptures also, like the higher scriptures, they have questions and answers. So questions are also auspicious and answers are also auspicious. So basically, everybody who hears those answers, he also receives that credibility, that pious credits. So now let us begin. Yeah, Sahil has a question.
Yeah. My question is that do we need our personal Krishna in this current world as well? Like, do we always need someone to guide us in this current era, uh, where all the information, where all the knowledge is already there? Uh, do we still need a Krishna, or do we still need a coach as well, or do we still need a guru as well?
Hmm.
Because information is everywhere and we know what is right, what is wrong. We can, if we can learn Python, C, and anything we can learn online, right? Why can't we learn all these things by ourselves?
Yeah, has anybody undergone IIT coaching here? Like 11, 12 who was prepared for IIT? I don't think so. Ashutosh, yeah.
Yeah, means I went through the coaching.
Okay. So what do you think about Sahil's question?
uh, I think we can do things on our own, but like having some guidance kind of accelerates the process, and like it'll help us avoid the pitfalls and like the things that we could miss out, uh, which we could learn from the experience of those like guides in some sense.
Yeah, yes. So it depends what your purpose is, right? So if your purpose is to be a like nice, perfect developer in Google, then basically you might seek guidance in that area, right? And as Ashutosh is saying, that to a certain amount, to a certain extent, you can like develop your skill set. But then for other like practical applications, for example, you are given a project in which you have to apply those principles, then you will take guidance from some experienced developers, and then ask them. So because there are people who have already traversed this path which you are right now traversing, so it's better to like take guidance from them and understand that what all obstacles might come on this path. So that way you will be better prepared for your goal. Yeah, Kiran, you want to say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Vishali. I'll see after Vishali.
Sorry, I just had one more question, right? So Rajat, you said that while I was listening to you, that you should, accept whatever God is sending your way, right? Believe in God. But um, then, we also say that you sow what you reap, right? जैसे कर्म करेगा वैसे फल देगा भगवान. So this always confuses me. Is it that whatever is happening to me right now, and sometimes wrong things just happen and you are not able to understand why did it happen to you? Is it that God is sending it my way and for what reason? Or is it somewhere in some point in time I might have done something and that's why it's come to me, right? So is it the will of the God that we go through all of this, uncertainty or through some bad experiences? Or is it my own actions? So yeah, you said accept it, so I just had a question around this as well. Thanks.
Yeah, very nice question. It's a very like hot topic. Why do bad things happen to good people? So yeah. So here we can bring in spirituality. So if we read Bhagavad Gita all along, we will see in the 12th chapter that Krishna describes the nature of a devotee. So a devotee understands that whenever a problem comes, it is arranged by Krishna, and it is a combination. Actually, it is a combination of the will of the Lord and the actions past actions which we have done. So because of the combination of these, this particular problem has come. And a devotee knows that basically I might have done a lot more mischievous things, but Krishna is giving only 5% or 2%. And he is very, very grateful, because when we understand our real path, basically our real journey towards Krishna, our real eternal relationship with Lord, actually problems, they are good. Even Kunti Maharani is saying that give me problems, and it is only because of these problems I'll be able to see your lotus feet. I will be able to understand you, who are you. So problems actually are a way to refine ourselves, to reinstate ourselves for our real purpose. So it is there actually, and to different degrees, like God will send problems to you, and He will never send more than what you can handle. Yeah, those are some things I could think of. Is it okay, Vaishali?
Yeah, Rajat, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take some time to process it, but thank you for sharing that perspective. Thanks.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a very big
one
topic. Yeah, sorry.
one more question, right? So whatever we are getting from God, right? We have to accept it. We don't have other option, right? So can God make a mistake? Because if you see right, when I get an increment letter from a manager, I can argue with him, right? He's partial. He may not be partial. My increment is not as per my work as well, right? So is there any way written in the Gita or any other scripture, like can God make a mistake?
Hmm. Yeah. No, actually not. So that is what I can answer in short, because like God is everywhere, and God is sitting inside the heart of every person. So He cannot make a mistake. So Arjuna is glorifying God when he realized the glories of Krishna in the 10th chapter. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibham. So Param Brahma Param Dhama. So he is the highest basically, and he has been accepted as the absolute truth by so many great personalities like Narad Muni and other sages, other contemporary sages. So God cannot make mistake, but actually we can make mistakes, because we are governed with these five conditioned tendencies. So uh, yeah, four conditioned tendencies, which are basically, first is to make mistakes, second is to tendency to become illusion and imperfect senses, and the cheating propensity. So mistake can be on our side, and mistake cannot be on the God side, because all these scriptures. So that's why we say that this Bhagavad Gita and Vedas, these are the actually these are aporishya. So you can't find mistake with them, because these are the breathing of the Lord. These are not created by man, but these are created by God Himself. So humans can make mistake because they are having these four conditioned tendencies, and that's why we are here to learn Bhagavad Gita and purify these conditioned tendencies. So yeah, that is what I have to say. Yeah,
Thanks, Rajat.
yeah, Vishali, and then
I'm
Tushar.
asking a lot of questions, but that just kind of is a reflection of what all is going on in my mind right now. So, Rajat, like they say that if you've chosen God's path, right? Or if you believe in God, if you remember God daily or whatever frequency it is, God always guides you and God protects you. And when something bad happens, which could be in personal life or in professional life, the question that comes to me is that I'm walking your path, and you're supposed to protect me and guide me. So what were you doing when, say, XYZ incident happened? Or where were you when something like that was happening in my life, or happening to me? Why didn't you just stop it? You are very powerful, you could have just undone the whole incident. So why didn't you just come and, yeah, stop the whole thing from happening? So, any perspective on that? Like, God should be there to protect us, right? Like, we are remembering God daily, we are praying to God daily, from with our limited capacity, whatever we have. Then, shouldn't God come and just protect and undo all the nasty things that might just come our way? Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, so protection can also be on different levels, right? So there can be material protection, spiritual protection, and ultimately we have to go by God's plan. So we can't impose our plan to God. So if God doesn't want something in our life, for example, um, if we get married, and if we get married to a husband who is basically who's drinking, who has all the bad habits, we can't blame God for that, because it is our choice. It might be our past activities because of which we got such a husband. So like this, basically there can be multiple things, and sometimes problems come, and that is the plan of the God for us. Like we can't blame God that why has this problem come. So sometimes God gives problems to expose our attachments. For example, Gopa asked that question to Garam Prabhu also, right? So that how do we deal with the relatives' loss? So then that is what the topic of Garam Prabhu's conversation was. That fear and anxiety are only because of our identity, the change which is happening among the identities. So we are identifying with that uh, basically problem. So actually this needs more discussion. If you can like choose a coach and then discuss the entire problem with him. I can just give you general principles that ultimately whatever God has in store for us, we can't we have to accept that. As yeah, as Tushar was saying, acceptance is a very very important quality which we have to like internalize, inculcate. And God is very happy when we are there, we accept whatever we have, and when we are very grateful for whatever we have. Yeah. And as I'm saying that in scriptures it is written that when the problem comes, then devotee understands that this problem is only 2% of what I deserved, because I've done so many mischievous things. It could have been worse. Like problems can, like, there is no end of problems in this world, right? Yeah, anything can happen. But like some little thing happened. So maybe for your like particular situation, you might want to discuss with somebody if you are still not convinced. Yeah, but that's what I can say. Yeah.
Right.
Gaurang, I would like to add up some points here. So first, based on like on the question asked by I think Sahil about the mistakes. I think mistakes basically is something. It can be right or wrong. It's basically how you perceive it as, right. I mean, I can make a mistake and that's not intentional. But if it's not life threatening mistakes, then if I apologize for it and if I try to correct it, I think then it should not be counted as a mistake, right? And if a mistake is caused in such a way that it has caused someone to lose their life, then it cannot be counted as a mistake, but it's something that can be counted as a negligence or something, right? So in that aspect, mistakes from the god also, if it's done by the god, I mean, this is all hypothesis, like I'm assuming, if it's done by the god, even if they are able to correct it, then it should not technically be a mistake or as a mistake in the wrong sense. I believe that way. And second, point to what Vaishali asked, like about being suffering and getting bad things in life. I think universe is also about the balance. Like if you see in an atom, there's electric charges which is positive and negative, right? So if you feel that currently, I think because I apply it like this, if I feel that currently something bad is happening to me, it could be because the god wants you to fight it and overcome that, and there's something good awaiting for you in the near future. So it's not that god is wanting you to feel go through bad times, but it's maybe they are trying to make you strong for something, even because I think Rajat can answer this, because I believe
Yeah.
that everybody's future is written, and we are just being prepared for the difficult times or the better times, because Vaishali, you might have also gone through a couple of good times in your life. So I believe you would have also assumed that god sent you the good things in your life, right? So basically it's about the balance in the life, good as well as the bad things, and all the bad things happen so that we can move on and be a part of good things. So I believe that way, yeah. Rajat may like to continue on that.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot, Tushar. I think the points which you added to Vaishali's question, those were very relevant. And Gaurang Prabhu also told this thing only, that ultimately when we basically this entire life is a preparation for the exam which we give at the time of death. So at the time of death, we change our entire body. So the person who is not bewildered by such a change, that is a dhira. So actually God is preparing you for that, because खाली हाथ आए थे हम खाली हाथ जाएंगे. Basically whatever जो भी है हमारा आगे पीछे, वो हमारे साथ नहीं रहेगा अगली लाइफ में, और हम किसी और बॉडी में होंगे फिर. तो there is a verse, this देहोनस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारम यौवनम जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर धीरज तत्र न मुह्यति. तो जो इन चेंजेस के थ्रू जो बिविल्डर नहीं होता है, दैट इज अ रियल धीरा. तो वही गौरांग प्रभु उनका आंसर कर रहे थे गोपा का, कि जो भी हमारे रिलेटिव्स लॉस होता है, ये होता है, दैट इज ऑर्डेन्ड बाय नेचर, मतलब नेचुरली इट विल हैपन विद टाइम. तो वही मतलब वेरी नाइसली स्टेटेड तुषार फॉर द सेकंड क्वेश्चन.
Thank you, both of you. Yeah, I think like just like recently, something very unusual happened in my surroundings, and I just couldn't make two and two. Like I just couldn't connect. Like why did it happen, etc. So yeah, a lot of questions, and I've been having those conversations with God as well. Yeah, so that's why I just brought it on the platform. Anyway, thank you so much, both.
Yeah, thanks Vaishali for your very nice questions. And generally this world is full of problems, so something will happen which will trigger something in our mind, and we might not be able to process it, so then we have to consult like senior coaches, senior devotees. Yeah, I think we can, if nobody has any question, then okay. Okay, we can watch this video. 2 minutes are there. Kiran, you want to say something to any of the questions, or we can watch?
No, I think this is a great discussion, Rajat. Thank you so much. Yeah, we can watch the video.
Yeah, let's watch.
I know the video you're playing. I think it's a beautiful video. Is it the cartoon one?
Rajat, you're on mute.
Yeah, let's see the video. Yeah, just a second.
God. Once upon a time, in a temple of Lord Krishna, there was a sweeper who was very sincere and devoted. Every time he saw thousands of devotees coming to take darshan of the Lord, he thought to himself,
The Lord is standing all the time giving darshan. He must be feeling very tired. O Lord, your feet must be aching. I want to help you. At least for one day, can I take your place so that you can have some rest?
Thank you, my dear. It is very nice of you, and I don't mind taking a break. But how will you take my place?
It's simple. You change me to look like you and change yourself to look like me.
Okay. I'll transform you like myself. But there is one condition. You must just stand here like me, smile at everyone and give blessings. Never interfere with anything and do not say anything. Just watch everything and be a witness.
The sweeper agreed to this and exchanged places with his Lord. The next day, a rich man came to pray.
O Lord, please bless me. My business should go on well.
While leaving the temple, the rich man forgot to take his briefcase, which was full of money. Just then, a poor man came into the temple.
O Lord, please accept this coin, as this is all I can afford. Bless me to be engaged in your service always. My family is hungry and my heart is leaking. I need some help from you.
When he opened his eyes, he saw the briefcase left behind by the rich man. The poor man thanked the Lord for his kindness and generosity and took the briefcase. At that point, a sailor walked in.
O Lord, I'm going on a long trip. Please bless me so that I have a safe journey.
Just then, the rich man came in with the police.
There, he is the thief who stole my briefcase full of money.
Hey, did you think you could run away after robbing this gentleman? Come on, tell me where's the money?
I did not steal anything, sir. I don't have any money with me.
Then you must have given it to your friend who must have run away by now. Come with us to the police station.
Dear Lord, you know I am innocent. Why am I being punished then?
Thank you, Krishna. You are the one who helped us catch this thief.
The sweeper, in the form of the deity, could no longer tolerate the situation. He had to speak up now to save the sailor.
Stop! You're making a mistake. It was not this sailor who took the money. It was a poor man who came here before him.
Who is that speaking?
Here, I am God speaking.
This person is not only a thief but also a clever cheat. He is tricking us into thinking that the idol is speaking. Arrest him, quick!
The sailor was arrested and taken away. The sweeper felt very sad. In the evening, Krishna returned to the temple.
My dear, how was the day?
I thought it would be easy, Krishna, but it was difficult. I tried to do a good thing, but man does not seem to have actual faith in God at all.
The sweeper then told Krishna about the happenings of the day and how a sailor had been unfairly punished for the crime of the poor man.
Oh dear, why did you not stick to the plan? Don't you have faith in me? Do you think that I do not understand the hearts of all those who come here? The rich man had money which he had got by cheating someone. It does not belong to him. On the other hand, the single coin offered by the poor man was the only coin he had, but he gave it to me with full faith. The sailor might not have done anything wrong, but if he had gone in the ship today, he would have died because of bad weather. Instead, he is alive and safe now in the jail. Soon the police will apologize to him and release him.
I did not know all this.
I have a good plan for everyone's life. But because your faith in me is shaky, you try to do things on your own. Don't do that. Just trust me.
For everything that we see around us, God has a plan. We need to trust His wisdom and accept His will.
Yeah. Yeah, Kiran.
Now go ahead if you have any comments, reflections before I ask.
No, yeah. So the plan of the Lord, nobody knows, and like we have to accept that plan, especially for this sailor, right? So nobody knew that he's sent to jail. So people might say that my relative was sent to jail, so I'm totally shocked and in trauma. But that might be because of some divine plan of Krishna. So yeah, Kiran, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying there was a beautiful video that that was played in cartoon, which I think goes along why does bad things happen to good people? The karma. I don't know if you have that video. Maybe you can just share it to the group, or maybe share it with Tushar and Tanusha, and they can share it with the group. I thought that video also was very nice. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I will share it in the
Yeah.
group.
It's a karma one, and it's also like very apt for a lot of the discussions that happened.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much, all of you, for gathering here, showing your eagerness. I think we'll continue these discussions next Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Rajat, for your time. And thank you, Tushar.